Harry, come here.
In Melbourne at the Kingston Veterinary Hospital, popular television presenter Jules Lund has rushed in 13-year-old Harry after the tabby was injured in a fight with a neighbourhood cat.
My best mate Harry has a bite on his shoulder blade and I think it's infected. Good news is you're going to recognise the vet.
Jules is here to see Dr Danni Dusek, who's also his sister-in-law.
Harry has this great relationship with Danni, so it'll be an interesting thing. There is familiarity there, but Harry's about to learn what Danni really does. Danni is going to look at Harry, and Harry's going to look at Danni and say, hang on a sec, what are you doing with that needle?
Come on in, Harry. Hey, Julesy, how you going?
I'm glad I get a hello as well. See you.
For Danni, pets are an important part of her family.
I've always been obsessed with my animals my whole life. They were my siblings, my best friends, the ones I told all my secrets to through high school. So I think I've always had that huge bond there. I love you. I do. So what's he been up to?
He's got a frenemy next door called Clyde, a black and white cat, and they biff on.
Oh dear.
Harry wins.
Did you?
So, in case anyone's wondering.
Harry's a bit of a cheeky cat. He's very affectionate, but he does like to show his affection with his claws at times.
He's just got a cut on his shoulder here, but it's
Hang on, mate. Oh.
It's just a bit feral. Like it's got pus on it, and it's in an awkward spot where he can't lick it. Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it certainly looks like a little ruptured abscess there. Yeah.
Jules, what a wimp. He's carrying on like a pork chop.
Oh, Jules, you got to toughen up.
He's not even bothered by it. Seriously.
No, he's a tough cookie. Now, I do want to check him over to make sure there's no other issues going on. He hasn't got any other wounds that are hiding.
Having a look through Harry's coat, I'm finding more and more scratches from all his rough and tumbles with the neighbourhood cat.
Got another scratch, there we go.
Cat bites can be really deceptive in that you will see a small little hole where that tooth has gone in, but potentially a huge abscess has spread along the length of their body.
Once we clip, we'll have a better idea. Because otherwise, if we leave it, it can become a systemic infection and get really sick.
Okay, well, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
Over in Perth, Dr Peter Ricci has arrived for his shift. When not working as a vet at Perth Zoo, he's on duty here at the animal hospital. Today, aggressive mini fox terrier Lottie needs urgent attention.
I can't really get up close and examine Lottie because she's far too ferocious and I really don't want to get bitten. Lottie has a superglue packet stuck to her, but it looks like there's a wound associated with that.
Owner Jonathan found little Lottie distressed when he returned home from work, but he was unable to remove the superglue.
I think it might have been on one of the tables, and she's quite adventurous, finding ways up onto tables. So she'd gotten a hold of a little tube and then ended up gluing some of her fur together, and then from her moving about, when it's set, it's pulled away out of her skin by the looks of it.
Peter can't tackle the glue until Lottie has settled down, but he's having no luck getting anywhere near the distraught little dog.
It's okay, it's okay. Be calm.
So it's time to change tactics.
My nurses are absolutely amazing and wonderful with handling animals, and sometimes a male is not the best person to come in when we have a nervous dog in here as well. So some dogs will respond better to a female.
Hello, it's okay.
So I'm calling in my wonderful nurse, Katrina, to give me a hand.
But with every passing minute, the superglue is hardening and the risk of the open wound getting infected increases.
I'm a little concerned that she's injured herself and cut her skin there. I can see blood, but the superglue packet itself is actually covering the wound, so I need to investigate a little bit closer there. If it is looking too nasty, we may need to take her to a surgery.
North of Sydney in the idyllic coastal town of Collaroy,
You're okay.
Michael and his daughter Zoe have arrived for their appointment at the local vet clinic. 10-year-old Kahu seems lively enough, but has a worrying lump on his right eye.
It wasn't as bad at first because it was just smaller, but just was on the edge of his eyelid, but now it's like on the eyeball, so I'd say it is irritating for him.
Hello, Kahu. Hey, always excited to see me, aren't you, hey?
Dr Lewis Hunt has been looking after Kahu for the last 5 years. Being a vet is a calling he's had all his life.
I don't think I decided to become a vet. I think I was always going to be a vet. My old man was a vet. I would stand in on consults and watch what he did. And I honestly don't think I was ever going to do anything else.
No. So, nasty looking lump on that eye there. You can see that's rubbing on the eyeball every time he opens and closes that eye. And you can see the eye there is very red compared to the other side. Michael and Zoe are definitely doing the right thing by bringing Kahu in. If left untreated, that lump could certainly cause long-term damage to that eye and get much worse. We're just making up some fluorescein stain here to try and get it into Kahu's eye. He doesn't like to sit still at the best of times, do you, big boy? And then we're going to have a look at it under a blue light. And if there's any damage to that cornea, then we'll see it on that light. When I put that stain on Kahu's eyeball, if it's clear, it's good. If it's green, it's not good. It means we've already damaged that cornea.
If Kahu has scratched his eyeball, it could mean permanent loss of sight in that eye.
We're going to get this light and have a look at that. See that? You can see in the corner of his eye there, none of that stain's actually on his eyeball. So that's fantastic. Luckily for Kahu, that eye is clear and there's been no damage to that cornea.
So what actually is it?
It looks very much like one of these cysts we commonly get in these little sebaceous glands that lie on the edge of the eye there. There is a chance that it is something nasty as well. Until we can actually remove it and send it off to the lab, we won't know for sure.
Kahu will have to undergo surgery later this afternoon, and owner Zoe is understandably worried.
He's my dog, of course it's scary. He's going under general anaesthetic, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys,
thank
we'll
you
look
very
after
much.
him for you and we'll see you this afternoon, okay?
Thanks very much.
All right, Harry boy, we will need to clip up that area.
In Melbourne, Danni is examining her brother-in-law Jules' tabby after it got into a fight with another cat.
Oh, so you're going to
Have a
give
bit
him
of a haircut.
a haircut?
How do you feel about that?
Well, he's going to look ridiculous, and that reflects upon me, so we have to.
We do.
Okay.
13-year-old Harry has a nasty shoulder abscess that needs immediate care.
All right, Harry, we've got some reinforcements, so I'm going to swap around.
With vet nurse Hannah assisting, Danni first needs to trim away the fur to assess the extent of Harry's injuries. If left untreated, an infected abscess could potentially be fatal.
This is the ouchie bit. So most of that scratch has actually been healing up nicely. It's only a little abscess, which is good. Often you can get these huge abscesses.
I would hate to see a big one. I'd actually hate to smell the big one.
All right, here's the fun part.
With Harry's shoulder all clipped, Danni must now try to clean out the abscess wound with a saline rinse.
I'm just flushing it to try and make sure we get all the pus out. Otherwise it sort of stays in there. Oh, sorry, Harry.
Be calm.
Back at the animal hospital in Perth, Peter and vet nurse Katrina have been struggling to get close to a petrified mini fox terrier. She has a tube of superglue stuck to her side and a worrying wound.
Good girl.
I think part of the issue is that I am male and dogs sometimes find the bit of male energy a little bit too much and a bit too scary, and sometimes a feminine touch is a more appropriate way to handle them.
Come here. Come on, Lottie. Good girl. I know you're brave. Come on, let's go. Good girl. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, good girl. Come on.
Oh, lovely. Leave it to the expert. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Pete. Be brave.
Hey, sweet
He
Pete.
won't hurt you.
Are you a bit angry still? Yeah, you are.
It's okay. Should we get you a muzzle?
Yeah.
That looks quite sore.
Looks like she's had a good chew at it.
It's got all teeth marks in it.
Yeah.
Before Peter attempts to handle Lottie, he needs to give her some pain relief.
Oh no. There we go. Done.
No.
Before I get to the super glue, I just want to make sure Lottie's otherwise healthy and well. I'm not going to look at your mucous membranes because I might lose a finger.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, I know. I know.
Lottie, come
I
here.
know, Lottie. You need to calm down.
Oh.
Calm down.
It's okay. He's just listening.
I can't hear your heart properly when you're growling, Lottie.
Peter is going to use a solvent to try and soften the glue so he can remove the tube and hopefully ease Lottie's discomfort.
All right, so this is the product that we use to help break down glue. We normally use it on medical grade glue, I suppose, so I'm hoping that it will work on super glue.
If the solvent doesn't work, Peter will have to take more drastic measures.
We might need to get some more drugs.
I know.
Sorry, Harry.
Good boy.
In Melbourne, Danni is treating an infected abscess on her brother-in-law Jules' tabby Harry after a skirmish with a neighbourhood cat.
So why isn't that hurting?
Oh, I think it is. I think he's just stoic as anything.
Yeah.
He's just a tough...
Probably You're probably right. He's tougher than I thought. And he doesn't like being touched. So the fact that he hasn't attacked us yet is a good sign. And to be honest, it's because he knows Danni. Sorry, Dr. Danni.
How are you coping with all this gore, Jules? You're right.
Not really.
Do we need a chair?
Part of me wants to take a photo, but then part of me never wants to look at the photo again, so...
With any abscess, it's really important that you don't close it over. You don't want to bandage it or stitch it up. You need it to continue to drain to release all the bacteria and inflammatory gunk so that it can heal up nicely.
With the wound successfully cleaned, Danni administers antibiotics to help prevent further infection.
God, he's tough.
He is a tough soul.
What'd you think, mate? The hardest part was just catching you and putting you in the cage at home. He'll be happy now. He just needs to get home, chill out, relax, watch some TV, probably fight with a neighbour again, show off his battle scars and get on with what he does best, which is sleep. That was a lot easier than I've ever seen a vet visit.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like look, all the skin on my arm.
We're all intact.
We're intact.
Good. That's how we like it. Good job, Harry. Hey? Jules and Harry are quite a pair and they both love each other so much. And with them around, there's no shortage of entertainment. See you later, you two.
Thank you, Danni.
Thanks
That's
for leaving this mess for me to clean up.
Yeah.
Keep out of mischief.
Me or Harry?
Both of you. Ready?
Three will go up on the table. See if we'll have any more like that this morning. Good boy.
At the Coleroy Plateau Vet Clinic, Kahu is about to undergo surgery to remove a suspicious lump above his right eye.
Yeah, that's the lump there that we're going to take off. It's a pretty nasty looking lump, isn't it, honey? You see that?
Yeah.
Rubbing on the eyeball there. When I look at that lump on Kahu's eye, it looks like a cyst. It's a fairly common lump, but the size of that lump, there is always a chance that it could be something nasty. All right, Kahu, there we go. I managed to take some good margins around that lump and the eyelids have come back together. But we're not out of the woods yet. We've certainly got to wait on those results from the pathologist. I'm really hopeful it's a benign cyst, but unfortunately there is a real possibility that it could be a cancerous growth.
At the Animal Emergency Service on the Gold Coast, Nathan and Natalie have brought in their German Shepherd cross, Ralph. He's had a nasty encounter with a fishhook.
Are you guys all right to bring him through?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
All right, come on, Ralph.
Let's go, Ralph.
6-year-old Ralph has a fishhook caught in his tongue, and they're hoping Dr Alex Hynes can remove it.
He's obviously licked the hook because the hook had no food on it.
No.
So he's licked it, but in licking it, he's caught it in the left side of his tongue. So we could see where it was, and it hadn't gone all the way through.
Thank goodness he didn't swallow it. That would have been a whole different story. Hey, Ralph. But it's obviously irritating him because he keeps trying to lick it. For Ralph to get a fish hook through his tongue, that must have been so painful. Apparently, he let out a huge yelp, and I don't blame him. It's not a great situation, but yeah, it could have been much worse if he'd swallowed it. What I'm going to do for him is I'm going to give him a little bit of pain relief, and it'll also act as a bit of sedation as well, because he's pretty anxious here now.
He's an anxious dog anyway.
Is he?
He's on tablets every day.
He's on a plan for anxiety, basically, in dogs.
Takes anti-anxiety medication every day.
We'll work out a plan of how we're going to get that hook out of there.
It's all right, Ralph. You stay here with us. Jump in. Jump, Ralph.
Ralph is like, I'm not moving. You're all right, Ralph. Good boy. See Mum and Dad soon. It's okay. Good boy, Ralph. I think we're going to have to go very slow and steady with this boy because he is just anxious. And look at him, he's just looking back for his mum and dad.
Super anxious, aren't you, Ralphie? Hey?
Oh, that's got to hurt. It's hard to actually tell whether it's gone through his lip or it's actually into his tongue because he keeps moving around. It could have been much worse. If he'd swallowed the fish hook, we'd be trying to get it out of his stomach. The fact it's in his lip, this isn't a great day for Ralph, but it could be worse. All right, well, let me get him some pain relief.
Yeah.
Give him a good dose because he's going to need something. He's a very worried boy, aren't you? You're a very worried boy.
It's all right.
Good boy. Doesn't hurt nearly as much as that fish hook, does it? At this stage, the plan's probably going to be to get Ralph nice and sedated, and then we're going to need to try to remove it, probably with a pair of bolt cutters, actually, to snip through the fish hook and remove it. If it does go through his tongue, it's going to bleed quite a lot because the tongue bleeds. So we're going to need to control the bleeding, get the fish hook out.
There you go.
But he's probably going to need some heavy sedation. He's not just going to let us put our hands in there and pull it out.
As gentle as we can.
In Perth, Peter is using a solvent to remove a painful superglue tube that's stuck in Lottie's fur.
We might need to get some more drugs.
But unfortunately, the solvent is not working.
It's quite nasty. It's so matted.
The whole hair is glue.
For Peter, Lottie's predicament brings back an unexpected childhood memory.
I accidentally superglued my mouth shut once.
What?
I was trying to get the lid off. I can empathise a lot with Lottie. I've actually been in a similar situation myself where I accidentally ended up supergluing my mouth shut. I was very panicked. However, after a few minutes, my saliva ended up eating away at the superglue and I was able to open my mouth and talk again.
Oh, I know.
However, using saliva on Lottie is not an option tonight. Now that I've given Lottie some pain relief, I'm going to try clipping some of her fur.
As if we can get past.
If we can get underneath that bit of chunk of glue, yeah.
Oh, this might be starting to work.
Lottie's clearly very upset with what I'm doing.
Oh, you need to calm down, Lottie.
She's feeling pain.
Are we able to get a head tapper? To her head?
Yeah. Maybe don't pat slow.
I've just tried to clip the superglue away using my clippers and this hasn't really been a good success. Lottie's reacting way too much. and is way too stressed as well. Oh no, I'll leave that. Lottie's obviously in a bit of pain, and the Superglue's actually come out from the packet and gone all through her coat in this area here. So there's a big mass of hair and glue that I can't get the clippers behind. It's too firmly attached for me to do with her conscious. She's clearly quite distressed. So the next step would be to anaesthetise her so she can't feel this and she's a lot more calm. And that way I can be a little bit more aggressive with removing this, this tube. But Lottie's a little dog and it holds a high risk.
Hello, Kahu.
Hey, how you going there?
You feeling a bit sorry for yourself, are you, mate?
In Collaroy, Kahu's recovering from surgery to remove a nasty lump from his eye.
You want some chicken, do you, buddy? Good boy, hey?
The big old lab's worrying eye lump is gone, and he's already regained his appetite.
Oh, was that all right, mate? You made short work of that, didn't you? Hey?
Devoted owner Michael arrives after an unusually quiet morning at home without his much-loved 10-year-old.
He's a crazy dog. Yeah, he's lovely. He's really good with us. Loves our place, so he just runs riot. Yeah, he runs the joint.
Let's go and show Dad your little eye lift, hey? This way, mate, hey? Who's out here for you?
Buddy, how you going? Okay, buddy? Okay, it's okay.
He's happy to see you. Kahu is a big softie this afternoon. He's been carrying on like a big sookie lala. The second he hears Michael come through the door, he's as happy as Larry, keen to go home and put his feet up on the couch.
I'm really happy with how it's come off, okay? And really happy with how it's gone with that stitching that eyelid back together. So it's now sort of waiting for results. We usually get them back in a few days' time. He's been a superstar of a patient today, haven't you, hey?
Okay, no, it is.
Oh, I know, the collar's not fair, is it, mate?
No. How long's this got to be on for?
The e-collar's got to be on for about 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the last thing we want him doing is scratching at that. Yeah, absolutely, because it will be a bit irritating. Yes. So he will want to scratch, particularly as it heals. Okay.
I think I've actually got the easier job today. The surgery wasn't too bad, but poor old Michael's got to try and keep that collar on Kahu now, which will be a lot of fun.
I'll obviously be in touch once we get those results, and we'll keep our fingers crossed on some good news, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, mate. Hey, you're done. We'll get you home.
Good boy.
He deserves it.
Thanks again.
Cheers, Michael.
Take care.
Have a great afternoon. Let's go.
Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Good boy. Good boy.
Hey, Ralphie. It's your turn, mate.
At the Animal Emergency Service on the Gold Coast, 6-year-old Ralph has a fishhook stuck in his tongue.
Oh, good boy. Yeah, I don't know quite how we all go on this bench because he's a bit of a worrywart.
The German Shepherd Cross suffers from anxiety.
Good dog.
So he'll need to be put under a general anaesthetic before Dr Alex and vet nurse Lee can start trying to remove the hook.
At the property where Ralph lives, he looks after the ducks, the chickens, the geese, even the kids. He takes his job very seriously. In fact, he's on anti-anxiety medication because he's just constantly on the lookout. He is such an anxious boy, they really want to have him home tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Because they just don't think he'll cope with a night in hospital.
Yeah.
And even now, he's just...
He seems real stressed.
Really stressed.
You're okay, mate.
While Alex tries to calm Ralph down, it's a nervous wait for his owners, Nathan and Natalie.
He was in shock, but then he was bouncing up and down, like he was, what's going on? Why is it hurting? And then he would start crying. And then, of course, there was blood coming out of his mouth.
Good boy. There you go. Are we ready? Little sleep? Hopefully when you wake up, it'll be all gone. Good boy.
With the sedation taking effect, Ralph finally starts to relax.
He's taking a lot of anaesthetic, I think just because he's so wound up.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot just to get him to sleep. Off you go. Good boy.
Do you want to help flip now?
Dr Alex has been debating exactly how to get the fishhook out safely and is keen to get advice from colleague Dr Lachlan, who's done similar procedures in the past.
Ralphie's got the fishhook and it's actually in the tongue, but the barb's not out the other side. So I was thinking of pushing it through so the barb's out and then cutting off the barb.
That technique certainly does work.
Yeah.
I have seen that being used. In my previous job, I have seen quite a few cases similar to this. And one of the other vets out there showed me a technique which is relatively not so traumatic of having to push it through the other way.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes it works pretty well. So I can't guarantee it'll definitely go to plan, but I'm thinking that usually it's always worked very well for me in the past. If you want, I'm happy to show it to you tonight.
Yeah, well, how can you describe what you do exactly?
Yeah, sure. So if we can imagine this is our tongue here, okay? And we've got this fish hook coming in through this point here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, which is, it's embedded in the tongue.
Okay, so either you've got to try and push that all the way through to the other side, clip it off, and then get it all the way out.
Yeah.
The other alternative, how I've sort of managed it, is essentially we get like a pair of either needle drivers or forceps and basically grab a hold of this section here, okay, with that, and then pretty much in exactly 180 degrees the other way, we just get a bit of suture material and we wrap that around this point here.
Okay.
And now, with this side, while we're stabilising this, we're going to pull very quickly and firmly
in that
the opposite direction the other way. And we see, for some reason, it just, with the barb hook, it seems to cause less trauma, and it can usually come out in a matter of a few seconds once we get it going.
Really?
Yep. Well, we'll see how it goes tonight if you're happy to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm happy to give it a go. And yeah, I've never seen that done before, but if that works,
cool.
let's do it. Let's give it a go.
Excellent.
It's a busy day for cat cases at the Kingston Veterinary Hospital, with Good Samaritans Michelle and Caitlin arriving with a tiny rescued kitten.
She definitely looks like a little stray.
I hope you weren't in the engine when it was moving. We were just at the local shopping centre, came out, we heard kitten distress. The owner of the car came back, so we coaxed her out and thought we'd better come in here and make sure everything was all right.
Look what just came in.
Oh, hello, little kitten. Where did you come from?
The little stowaway needs an urgent checkup from Danni, with vet nurse Hannah helping to hold the lively kitten.
This kitten has been found inside the engine of a car. I can't believe that she's not seriously injured. It's a silly place to be.
It's all right.
You're all right. Hasn't been any signs of burns or any...
Not that I could...
Abrasions. Don't need to even check if you're a boy or a girl, hey? Because you're a little tortie. Straight away I can tell this kitten is a little girl. The reason for that is because she's got orange markings in her tortoiseshell coat and only girls can create that orange colour. You don't have a name yet.
She was found in a Mazda, so we were thinking of calling her Mazda.
Oh, I like that, hey? Mazzy, hey? Maz? Yeah. Let's see if you're okay otherwise. You have a little look in your mouth. Often when strays come in, they've got injuries, they're all dirty, they're flea-ridden, they've got disease processes already going on, and she seems really healthy. All right, let's see how much little Maz weighs. Just over 1 kilo.
Very tempted to keep it, but on practical note, wanted to find out if it was someone's pet and make sure she was okay. And
let's see if you belong to someone, my love, hey? Someone would be missing very much. No. No microchip in you, dear, hey? You've got a bit of feistiness in you, don't you, hey? Maz is full of beans and all she wants to do is play with everyone. Anything under your little paw? No. She's in fantastic condition, considering she's a little stray, so she's been coping very well by herself. Thank you so much for that, Hannah.
That's all right.
All right, you take it easy, little Maz. Hey, hopefully we find you a home soon, okay?
Come on, Maz.
See you, sweetie pie. Maz is such a gorgeous little kitten. I'm positive we won't have any trouble finding her a new home. Bye.
Good girl.
God, look how swollen it is. That's nasty. Oh, that's going to be sore.
It's going to need a good flushing afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
Alex is intrigued to see if her colleague Dr Lachlan will have a magic solution when it comes to safely removing a fishhook embedded in Ralph's tongue.
So how I'll get you to maybe hold it for me, because I'll probably get...
Yeah, you tell me what you need me to do.
Almost just hold the tongue for me like this.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
then I'll essentially have one hand on it here,
Yep.
and I'll be wrapping the other bit here, and I'm just going to go like that, the other way.
Not going to stick the fishing hook in my hand.
No, I don't think so. We stand in the right direction, it should be nowhere near.
All right.
I think it should be safe.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's do it. You feeling confident?
We'll see how we go.
Alex was thinking about cutting the hook, but Lachlan's technique involves holding the shank end firmly, while the curved end is pulled in the opposite direction, causing less damage as the hook comes out.
I'm really glad that Ralphie's asleep. I don't think he'd put up with this if he was awake.
No, definitely not.
This is not pleasant. All right.
All right, so when I say 3, 2, 1,
Yep.
we're going to pull.
Okay, just a minute. Yep, okay.
You got it? And 3, 2, done. Out.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Down to one go.
Wow.
Now it just needs a really good flush because there's still going to be some nasty sort of bacteria in there, but you can see pretty easy with not too
That
much
was
trauma at all.
really good.
Dr Lachlan has managed to remove the hook cleanly, leaving the German Shepherd with a good chance at a quick recovery.
I'm so impressed. When Lockie first told me about this technique, I wasn't sure it was going to work. It sounded a bit dodgy, but sorry, mate, but I didn't know. I've never seen anything like that done before. Normally, we push the hook through and we cut the barb off, and basically in doing that, we're creating another hole out the other side of the tongue. But with Lockie's technique, we're able to pull it out, and Ralphie's only got the one hole.
If we can find an easier way to do things without more complications, absolutely. And it's worked for me just about every time, so I keep doing it.
Yeah. Good job, mate.
The next important step is a saline rinse to clean the wound and help reduce the risk of infection.
That's heaps, eh?
Yep.
All right, cool. I can wake him up. All right. That was incredibly impressive. I can't believe he just pulled it out. We've got one hole. I reckon that'll heal up in no time. That looks really good. Hey, Ralphie, you go back to guarding your family. Ralph just needs a little bit of time to wake up. It's nearly midnight, but I've just heard that the whole family are coming down, even the kids. There's no way they were going to stay away. All right, back to bed? Back to bed. All right, go, Ralphie, let's go.
I've got to be very brave for this.
At the animal hospital in Perth, removing the superglue stuck to Lottie's side is turning out to be a marathon challenge for Peter.
It's a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. All right, sweetie.
Lottie, you're going to be brave. Good kill. Oh, well done.
Well done.
She didn't even feel that.
No, she didn't react to that.
Good kill.
The leaking tube of glue is so firmly stuck that Peter has been forced to anaesthetise Lottie.
Oh, yeah.
He has to work quickly to avoid causing her any more distress. Lottie's worried owner Jonathan is waiting out in reception.
I could recognise her whimper, so yeah, it was a bit difficult to hear. Hopefully she pulls through and yeah, there's not any serious injuries.
There you go.
Slowly give this drug until she gets sleepy.
Feeling a little bit funny.
Now that Lottie's asleep, I'm going to try and use a scalpel blade to trim her hair and remove the superglue. It's a little bit more risky than using the clippers because the scalpel blade's a very sharp instrument and I could easily slip and cut her if I'm not careful. I really don't want to have to sew her back together tonight. She's got a big wound under there and hopefully I can just remove this by shaving her hair.
But Peter has discovered that the glue is not only stuck to her fur, it's also penetrated her skin.
There's a lot of glue over her skin and it's extremely adhered to her. I'm going to try and just shave the hair and remove the super glue completely and hopefully that'll just be a quick and easy fix. It's just the first layer that's come off, it's not actually a defect.
Oh, it's sore.
It is.
I'm going to give her another 0.1.
I think I'm going to have to actually
surgically remove it.
It's really firmly attached to her skin, so I don't see many other options apart from actually removing a bit of skin with the glue as well. We'll keep trying to avoid that, but I'm a little concerned that if I keep going, I'm going to end up causing too much trauma to the skin, and we'll end up having to do that anyway. If I don't have any luck removing this now, my only option is to go to an emergency surgery. I really want to avoid this. Lottie's a little dog, and I don't want to have to put her through that.
Hey, Mr. Ralph. You're looking good. You ready to go home?
On the Gold Coast, Ralph has woken up after the fishhook removal surgery, and he's well enough to go home.
The whole family wanted to be part of this reunion. Natalie put the kids to bed, set the alarm and woke them up so they could all come down tonight.
He's a lovely dog, absolutely.
He adores my family.
Come on. Come on, Ralphie.
He does his job in terms of protecting
He adores
them.
all the animals.
He's very good with the kids, and that's all we can ask for.
Hey, baby.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Come here.
Oh,
Hello. How you doing? Hello. I missed you.
It was such a lovely moment to see Aiden with Ralphie. It was Aiden's fishing rod that Ralphie got hooked on, and the poor boy has been so worried all day that he nearly killed his best friend. What do you guys think?
He's amazing. He's a very awesome dog.
It's all right, buddy. He takes cuddles and hugs very well, doesn't he?
He does.
His cuddles.
Very important. The centre of attention.
All that's left now is to take Ralph home so he can get back to work guarding their menagerie of farm animals.
Aiden, can I say goodbye to him?
Yeah.
See you later, Ralphie. Hey, be a good boy. You look after your family because they love you very much. Hey? All right, you guys take him home?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything.
No worries, Nat.
Another 0.1.
Yeah.
She's still reacting. I'm going to give her another 0.1.
Yeah. It's a weird location.
In Perth, Peter is still struggling to remove a tube of superglue from little Lottie's stomach.
I've never seen anything like this before. This is definitely a first.
Lottie's been anaesthetised in the hope that the glue can be removed while she's under sedation. The next step may have to be surgery. Peter is trying to work as quickly as possible to avoid keeping Lottie under anaesthetic for too long.
Just giving another 0.1.
I'm using the scalpel blade, and it's not really working. Yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out another way. I've decided to use a different instrument called a forceps. I'm just trying to gently use it to open.
Oh, that's working.
Yeah. Fantastic. It's off, it's removed, it's done.
Some soothing antibiotic cream will help the wound to heal. And a stocking net will keep it protected.
It makes her look like a chicken roll. Come on, Lottie. Hello. It's amazing. We've managed to get this super glue off, and I'm giving Lottie back to John. It was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be initially. She has got a significant area of trauma to her skin there, so ideally we just want to keep this one over the wound area itself. This stockinet's just there to hold that in place.
She'll need a cone of shame.
And cone of shame as well.
Good girl.
We'll definitely make an effort next time to keep super glue locked away. Hopefully she's learned her lesson as well.
Come on. Into the park, mate. Come on. Come on. You can sniff everything.
As for Kahu, it's been 3 weeks since he underwent surgery to remove a lump from his right eye.
It's a nasty looking lump, isn't it?
Yeah, poor thing.
Lewis was concerned the mass could be malignant and sent it to the lab for analysis. His worries were confirmed as it turned out to be cancer.
We were hoping it wasn't malignant, definitely hoping it wasn't malignant, but it was.
How you going, okay?
But I thought it was good news, and Lewis got the margins, got out right around it, right outside it, and so hopefully that's all done and dusted, it'll be gone.
Today, Lewis is keen to find out how the 10-year-old Labrador he's known for years is recovering.
Hello, buddy. Hey? Hello. Hey, you excited to see me, big boy? You're silly enough to still enjoy seeing me, aren't you? Hey, there you go. So, how's he been?
He's been good, yeah, he's been pretty good, yeah.
The eye looks fantastic. Really happy with how that has healed up there. And once they get the e-collar off and the stitches out, they're obviously a lot happier, aren't they?
Definitely happy now, yeah, real happy.
Fortunately, during the surgery, we sort of removed all the tumour and some normal sort of tissue margins. So that gives us a maximum chance of that surgery being curative and Kahu not having any problems from it down the track. Are we still mates? Yes. And it looks like Kahu's back to causing trouble at the park, and probably the most important thing is it looks like he's forgiven me and we're still good mates. So really happy to see that because he's a gorgeous old boy.
Well, it's forgiven, isn't it, buddy? Hey? Hopefully the future's good for him, mate. He's just full of life, he's so happy, loves everyone. So yeah, we've had 10 great years with him. We want many more.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dr Danni Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.